Hi guys, this is Silvolf, and at the commissioner's request I am doing a video of how I'm going to make this cat plush. This is for my friend Styling Kato. You can look them up on the internet. They are an artist like me and their artwork is amazing, so search around, have a look on Twitter and other social media and find out more about their art. So they have commissioned me to make their lovely Siamese cat Buddha. And Buddha is a very dear friend to them and beloved pet as well. And so I'm honoured to make this plush. So here we have the breakdown of the pattern. This is the pattern I'll be using. You can see the head, the body, tail, gusset and everything else there. This is the material I'm going to be using. So this is for his points, because Siamese cats have points, which is the darker part of their fur. And the main body colour is going to be this, which is a lovely cream colour. I will also be shading it with fabric pens as well, because Buddha has parts on the cream colour fur that is slightly darker, so I'm going to be shading it. This is super luxury fur. It is very soft and very expensive. Of course not real fur, it's only fake, but it is so soft and lovely, as you can see there, and see how it shines. I only order the very best materials for plushes, and especially plush commissions. It all depends what I can find in the right colour, but usually the luxury or super luxury fur does come in this colour. I was trying to get a darker version of this, but the people were out of stock, so they sent me this one instead, which is slightly paler, but if I need it to be a bit darker for certain areas I can always shade it. So this is how we're starting off, and I will continue in the next part of the video. This is Buddha, so these are the photos I'm going to be working from. You can see he's got a lot of darker patches there on his paler fur. So I'm going to be working with these photos to get him to look like the pictures. And I think I'm going to probably start work on this tonight. It's quite late, but I think I might start drawing out the pattern pieces tonight. And here we are, all the Buddha bits. They're all cut and trimmed. So I have trimmed around the outside, ready to sew them. That's an ear. Yes, I will trim the fur down when I've sewn it together. He's not going to have big fluffy ears. But this is what I'm doing right now. So my next thing I'm going to do is obviously sew all these bits together. Today I'm probably going to work on the head, sew it, stuff it, so that I can trim the fur down and make his eyes and nose, because I want to bake the eyes and nose at the same time as baking some other clay bits and pieces for another plush. It saves on electric that way. So that is what I'm going to do next. So this is how far I've got this evening. I was going to do his eyes and nose today, but I didn't really have time in the end. I made his head and I've started to trim it down, as you can see. So hopefully his markings and everything look like Buddha. I'm quite happy with how that's going. This will all be pulled in and he'll have a proper nose when I put the eyes in, as with my other plushies. And here is his body. At the moment it's very fluffy because the fur is quite long, but as I said before, I choose the fur for the colour. If I have to trim it down, I have to trim it down. I'm probably not going to trim it down too much here, but the paws will be trimmed down because fur won't be that long on his feet, because that's not really how cats work. Well, at least not Siamese cats anyway. He's not a Persian, he's a Siamese, so he needs shorter fur down here. So I'll trim all that down, and I will be shading him as well. And of course he's got the label, which all of them have now, to show that he's one of mine. So that's all I'm going to do for tonight. I will continue him tomorrow. So here are Buddha's eyes. I made them out of polymer clay. They will be glazed to give them a wet look. They're not actually staying on his face, obviously, but there's his nose as well. So they will be on his face very soon. And I put his eyes and nose in now. I tried to make it look like he's got like a proper little cat nose there. Cats are actually much harder for me to make than dogs. I'm not quite sure why, because they're kind of quite simple shapes when you think about it, but there you go. I'm quite happy with how I've got his eyes though, because normally they stick out a bit. I can't seem to sort of pull them in very well, but his eyes are quite close into his head, and I like how his facial shapes come out, so I think he's looking quite good. Next I will stuff his body. I've stuffed, well, partially stuffed Buddha's body and tail, and this is what his paws look like at the moment before they've been trimmed. The fur is a bit long really for a Siamese, so I'll trim those down. And I've started trimming the paws down, so that's what they look like at the moment. I think they look better anyway now because they're not so floofy, but I will work more on them. I just sort of roughly trim them down in preparation. Once he's fully stuffed, I will work more on the trimming. I'm just waiting for the lock of fur and the gem to arrive in the post from my friend. So these finally arrived in the mail. They took a while to come because they actually returned to my friend, but now they have arrived safely. So we've got labradorite and raw citrine gemstones to go inside Buddha, and some of Buddha's hair. There's a whisker there as well. So these are going to go inside. And if you heard a horrible noise briefly then, that's the central heating men arriving. So I'll put these inside. Well, I'll get them out and then do a little video of them going in. So I've got the fur. I'm going to put it in there. So now it's inside. You might be able to see it in there. Can I see it in there? It's a bit dark today. Anyway, it's in there. As you saw, I just put it in. And I'll get the gemstones. Here are the gemstones. So that's labradorite there. It's one of my favourite gemstones actually, so good choice, Kato. And there's the raw citrine as well. So I'll put these in too. And with the fur. There you go. And I will grab a bit of stuffing. I should have opened my stuffing bag ready, but I didn't because I just wasn't prepared. So here's some stuffing. So take a bit off. And then I'm going to stuff him like this. So the fur and the gemstones are all inside, and putting the stuffing in as well. So the next thing that I'm going to do is attach his head after I finish putting the rest of the stuffing in the body, which I can't do one-handed. The next time you'll see him is with his head attached. So here he is with his head attached. He's a sitting plush, I think, because his head is facing a little bit down. I tried to pull it back a bit, but when he stood up, just move him so he stands. He will stand by himself, but the sofa's not a stable surface. You can see he's looking down a bit, so he works better as a sitting plush, which I think is cute. And also if he's sitting, you'll be able to see his little paw pads when I've done them. So this is him so far. Next I'll be trimming him a bit more, adding some shading here and there, and I will do his paw details as well. Okay, so I've started as you can see, the light's not very good, but I have started to shade him. His tail's darker, so I've done that darker sort of almost black colour. And I've started shading his sides so he looks more like Buddha, the cat I am creating here. And also, his paws have been done. So he's got toes and paw pads now on all of them. So he's coming along nicely, I think. All that's left to do is a little bit more shading and he should be finished. And here he is all finished. And it's the evening at the moment, so that's why he's in the bedroom on the bed instead of in the usual place. So I finished all the shading and stuff on him. It looks kind of harsh in this light, but actually it's not that dark when you look at it with your eyes. It's just how the light is on it tonight. So I think he's really cute. He's got big chunky paws and a cute little smile. He's like a child version of Buddha. And he's got his marking on his tummy as well. And as I said previously, he works best when he's sitting. You can make him stand, but his head kind of faces down a little bit. So he works better if he's sitting. You could probably put something underneath him like the phone. Looks like he's looking at it. I actually have an app on my phone for my own cat. It's a fish pond app and he watches the fish on it. So it's quite cute and I keep it there for him. So that's Buddha all done. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, Kato. And thank you so much for commissioning me to create your lovely cat in plushy form. I hope you like him when he arrives. Actually, to be honest, when I film under the light here, the colours are a little bit better. So that's him. Buddha the Siamese. So that's all for this video. Thanks again for commissioning me. He'll soon be on his way to you. I always send all my plushies tracked and if signed for if possible, but at least tracked so that they can be followed from A to B in case anything happens. It's always better to be safe. I also ship internationally for anyone wondering if they would like a plushie, and also I take PayPal. I can also take bank transfers from people in the UK or checks from people in the UK as well. For those who still use checks, not many people do. I still have a checkbook, but I never use it. And you too could have your pet as a plush. So, I hope you enjoyed watching and following this step by step that I have done for Buddha. And that's all for this video. This is Silvolf signing off. Have a great week and stay safe.